Thank you for this Wisdom Wednesday question. Along my journey of being an athlete, I struggled at times with being a good teammate. I was so focused on my own results and really locked in on my own process that at times, if my results weren't aligned with what I was desiring, I would be quiet, I would be to myself, and I would not necessarily be the best teammate to pick someone else up or to cheer others on into succeeding towards the team goal. This was something I learned over time just because it was something deeply rooted to when I was younger and always was the star player on the team. So naturally, I helped the team win. I was a great teammate by my performance, by helping us win on the scoreboard. So something I had to learn was being a better leader, communicating better, staying unconditional with my personality, my mood, and my energy so that no matter what was happening, I was always being a better teammate. Thank you for this interesting question. Now, the natural state of being human. First off, what separates us from being animals is consciousness and awareness of our ability to think, control, and manifest, not just living off subconscious mindsets and complete instincts. We have intuition and higher wisdom. As well, we have feelings, emotions, and ability to communicate with objects, different beings, different forces through ways of others than just words. We can use the ability to read body language and read eye contact and just so many senses other than the five that tap into that third eye and the powers within our mind that make us a very special being. We're also humming, many atoms vibrating together, and that is why we're a humming being for the humans. Very interesting state, and we are in this dimension that we get to perceive things the way we can, but definitely a beautiful life. Thank you for this great question. For me, I really like diving into anatomy, learning things about neuroscience. So specifically, I would say I'd like to learn more about the brain and just all the powers that we have really never tapped into because we're not being taught it in school, or we're just being brought into light from very intellectual doctors or psychologists that are shining light on all the abilities we have for manifestations, creativity, authenticity of who we are, and really creating the life we want to live. We've been suppressed of so much information and knowledge and that wisdom of how to use our brain to our maximum capacity. And they always say that normal statement that we've only tapped into maybe 20% of our brain. But I truly think we are tapping into more. They just don't want us to know that we're learning so many things that makes us a higher being with that higher mindset. So definitely some more neuroscience would be key. Thank you for this great question, Holly. For myself, I'm always trying to be a kind individual every day, no matter if it's holding a door for a stranger, spreading positive energy with a nice smile, or just saying hello to someone I'm crossing paths with. Now, something that really stands out for me that I would say is a key act of kindness would be there was a lady that I've known for quite some time at the gym I was working at. And when I had really transitioned to my own business with mindset and everything that involved, she reached out to me and we had a great conversation in the gym. She just wanted to see, what I could help her with and some tips and techniques to help her make some better decisions and choices in how she was condoning herself in her normal lifestyle. So I let her know, hey, don't worry about any costs, any fees. I just want to be a listening ear and give you some great sound advice that's going to help you feel better and move forward in a better direction. Thank you so much for this compliment. It really means a lot to me that there's people out there hearing my story, listening in, and tuned in to the present to be able to take the time and have the patience on your own end to even listen to all the experiences and wisdom I'm trying to share with everyone. So I really appreciate these kind words. It lets me know that even if I've helped one person breathe a little easier today, that I have been successful. So I am so thankful for you sharing these kind words of a compliment, and it'll just keep pushing me in the right direction and has motivated me even more to work harder on myself and to keep growing as an individual, to be the best version of myself and my higher self, that higher mindset, and keep pushing in the direction that's going to allow me to coach, mentor, and teach so many more individuals on how to live a beautiful and joyful life. Thank you for this interesting question. And when it comes to mentors trying to use knowledge shaming towards mentees, that to me seems really invalid because they're only trying to guide someone towards the right path. And a true mentor would never do that to their mentees. A teacher who is amazing at what they're doing is going to be focused on uplifting others, being a leader, never a boss, trying to tell someone what to do, preaching at them as if someone's above one another. Each person has a different experience, different level of knowledge and wisdom they've gained along their journey. And if someone wants to learn from that individual, then they should have the compassion and the empathy to remind themselves to stay humble and grounded, that at one point they were just like that mentee learning from their mentors. So could it be considered elitist? That's hard to say, but there definitely needs to be a better thought process into teaching. Then thank you for this great question. And for myself, I always try to stay self-aware that when I'm speaking to others, I'm being compassionate, I'm being kind, and I'm trying to stay away from pushing them in the direction of potentially my opinion or my bias, just because everyone deserves their own opinion. Everyone's got different conditioning and experiences and knowledge and wisdom, and no one should really be feeling that they have the opportunity to force someone in a direction when communicating with them. Now, it is something at times I have to keep myself in check because it can get hard with certain individuals to not try and persuade them that you have the correct thought or principles or values that they should be aligning with. So I really just focus on being open, being kind, and reminding myself that I'm not perfect and I should only be an example of what I like to be and let others make their own choices. Thank you for this interesting question. Now, if you look into astrology, the cool aspect between my parents and I is my mom's a Leo and my dad's a Virgo. However, I was born on the cusp of Leo and Virgo. So when I'm with my mom, I can definitely have those times where the Leo shines and we're two peas in a pod, just full of energy, very ambitious, spontaneous, and just love to go do new things. And then there's times where I'll be with my dad and we'll be very stoic, very calm, level-headed, very practical in our thoughts, a little bit more deeper in the level of thinking too, but just a different manner of how we are. But then there's the vice versa, where I can be a little bit more Virgo with my mom and kind of throw dirt at her fire to try and bring her a little bit more grounded. And then there's times where I bring some fire to my dad's dirt to try to get him to do a little bit more and get out of his comfort zone. So it's a cool yin-yang. Thanks for this great question, man. And when it comes to love, there's no reason you should have to feel hurt or the absence of love before you truly appreciate it. When people have a lot of gratitude and truly focus on their affirmations and keeping themselves in check to be in the present, then at all times you're going to be cherishing that love. You're going to be really relishing in that emotion and feeling it at all times because you're reminding yourself daily and at those key times of how much love is in your life. Specifically, it could be coming from a partner or from your family or good friendships. But definitely, love should not have to hurt to really appreciate it. And just from my own life, I have the most beautiful partner that I could ever dream of, and I truly never feel any pain or hurt to acknowledge that that love is in my life and that we share such a deep connection that makes her my twin flame and my soulmate. Thank you for this great question, Allison. And I honestly believe that personalities will not be stagnant if someone is open and willing to keep growing and moving forward. Personalities only get stagnant when someone gets closed off and has no more further progress in trying to develop themselves as an individual. For those who get stagnant, they've really got stuck in one spot. They no longer are trying to strive to be better within any of their avenues that can make them a more developed personality. Personalities of potentially procrastination or stubbornness, arrogance, happiness, joyfulness, whatever the trait may be, that comes from the experiences they're having at that current time. And people get stagnant when they're consistently repeating the same experiences. So if someone is trying to develop themselves and keep moving forward, then their personalities are going to keep changing and evolving as they grow as a person. Thank you for this conscious question. Now, being joyous unconditionally, I definitely try my best. Making sure I'm meditating in the rise and in the evening helps me stay in tune with being in a positive motion, staying with positive energy, and just being a positive being. There is times where naturally the human nature